There comes a moment in life when you stop and realize you're living the same story over and over again. Maybe it's that family argument that always comes back, that relationship pattern that repeats itself with different people, or that feeling of walking in circles even when you believe you're moving forward. Dr. Hew Len, the Hawaiian master who revolutionized our understanding of healing through Ho'oponopono, discovered something that would forever change our perception of why we get stuck in the same painful experiences. Did you know that inside you exist thousands of memories that aren't yours? Memories that came from your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, memories that have crossed entire generations carrying pain, fear, anger, and limitations. These ancestral memories aren't just remembrances of the past. They are active programs running in your life right now, creating the situations you live through, attracting the people who appear on your path, determining how you react to everyday challenges. Dr. Hew Len used to say that we don't live in the present. In fact, we constantly live in the past, reacting to old memories that have been triggered by current situations. When your boss criticizes you and you feel disproportionate anger, it's not just about that moment. It's about all the times your ancestors felt humiliated, rejected, unrecognized. When you're afraid to open your heart to love, it's not just about your personal experiences of disappointment. It's about all the women in your lineage who suffered for love, all the men who were abandoned or betrayed. These memories function like a movie that's always playing in the background of your mind. A movie you didn't choose to watch, but that determines the script of your life. And what's most striking is that you don't even realize you're living other people's lives, repeating patterns that aren't even yours, carrying pain you didn't even create. You think you're reacting to the present, but you're actually reacting to the past of an entire lineage. Ho'oponopono teaches us that true freedom comes when we can clean these memories, when we can return to what Hawaiians call the state of Ho'opono, a state of correction, of alignment with our original divine essence. And this is only possible when we understand that we are not victims of these memories, but rather responsible for cleaning them, not just for ourselves, but for our entire family tree. Imagine for a moment that your soul chose this family, this lineage, these circumstances, not as punishment but as an opportunity for healing, that you came to this world not just to live your own journey, but to be an ancestral healer, someone capable of breaking limiting patterns that have been repeating for decades, maybe centuries in your family. What a sacred privilege this is, what divine responsibility you carry in your hands. Dr. Hew Len discovered that when a person truly dedicates themselves to the practice of Ho'oponopono, they're not just healing themselves, they're healing their entire lineage, forward and backward in time. They're offering freedom to their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and also offering peace to their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, even those who have already departed from this dimension. It's as if you become a link of light in a chain that was previously only darkness and suffering. But why do we get stuck in the same memories? Why is it so difficult to break these patterns? Dr. Hew Len explained that our conscious mind, the one that thinks it's in control, actually processes only a small fraction of the information we receive each moment. Most of our reactions, decisions, and behaviors come from our subconscious mind, which he lovingly called the inner child. And this inner child is loaded with memories that aren't ours, but which it accepts as absolute truths about how life works. When you feel you don't deserve to be loved, it's not your inner child speaking. It's generations of women who were abandoned, rejected, who believed they weren't worthy of love. When you're afraid of prosperity, of success, of shining your light in the world, it's not about you, it's generations of people who were punished for standing out, who learned it was safer to remain small and invisible. This inner child is constantly trying to protect you, using old information, inadequate for your current reality. The beauty of Ho'oponopono lies in recognizing that you have the power to talk to this inner child, to thank them for all the protection they tried to offer you using these old memories, and gently teach them new ways to experience life. It's a process of great love, great patience, great compassion, with yourself and with your entire lineage. If these words are touching something deep in your heart, if you're recognizing patterns in your life that you'd like to transform, I want you to know that you didn't get here by accident. Your soul is ready for this healing. Your light is asking to shine more fully. Leave in the comments which memory, which pattern you feel ready to release. And if you're not yet part of our spiritual family here on the channel, I invite you from my heart to join us on this journey of healing and awakening. Your presence here makes a difference. Your light makes a difference. The journey of liberation from these old memories begins with a deep understanding. You are not your memories. You are not your fears, your limitations, your repetitive patterns. You are a divine spark temporarily forgotten of your true nature, temporarily identified with stories that aren't even yours. Dr. Hew Len used to say that our true identity is absolute peace, unconditional love, infinite abundance. Everything different from this is just memories that can be cleaned, transmuted, returned to the creative void from which they came. The cleaning process in Ho'oponopono is not about fighting against these memories. It's not about analyzing them or understanding them intellectually. It's about recognizing them with love, taking responsibility for them being in your energetic system, and gently returning them to divinity for transmutation. It's an act of profound humility, recognizing that you don't need to carry alone the weight of past generations, that there exists a superior intelligence capable of transforming any pain into love, any limitation into possibility. When you practice Ho'oponopono, you're telling the universe, I'm sorry these memories of suffering are in my system. Forgive me for having allowed them to control my life for so long. I love you, beloved memory, because I recognize that you came from an attempt at protection, at survival. I'm grateful that I can now return you to the void, to the sacred space where all things can be renewed, transformed, healed. But there's something even deeper in this process. Dr. Hew Len discovered that these memories aren't just in our mind, they're in our body, in our energy, in our aura, in our relationships, in our environment. They create the reality we experience. When you clean a memory of poverty, for example, you're not just changing a thought. You're altering your energetic vibration, your capacity to receive abundance, your ability to recognize opportunities that were always there. That's why the practice of Ho'oponopono can seem miraculous to those observing from the outside. When you genuinely clean memories of conflict, difficult relationships in your life begin to harmonize without you doing anything specific to make that happen. When you clean memories of illness, your body finds natural paths of healing that modern medicine can't always explain. When you clean memories of loneliness, loving people begin to appear in your life in surprising ways. Memory cleaning is not a linear process. Sometimes you'll need to clean the same memory several times, in different layers, at different depths. This doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're being blessed with the opportunity to do increasingly complete, increasingly deep cleaning. Each time you practice Ho'oponopono, you're freeing yourself a little more, you're returning a little more to your true divine nature. Dr. Hew Len frequently shared a truth that transformed how thousands of people understand healing. Memories don't need to be yours to affect your life, and you don't need to understand a memory to clean it. This revelation frees you from the need to analyze, to understand, to relive past pain in order to heal. You simply need to recognize that something is disturbing your peace and be willing to return it to the creative void through the sacred words of Ho'oponopono. Imagine that your mind is like a computer that inherited files from all the computers that came before it. Some of these files contain viruses, defective programs, corrupted information that makes the system function slowly, stuck, limited. Ho'oponopono is like a divine antivirus that doesn't need to analyze each file. It simply identifies what doesn't serve the perfect functioning of the system and removes, cleans, updates. When you wake up in the morning and feel heavy for no apparent reason, when you're in an environment and feel uncomfortable without being able to explain why, when you react excessively to small situations, these are memories being activated. It doesn't matter if they're your personal memories, ancestral memories, or even collective memories of humanity that you picked up simply by being alive at this moment in history. What matters is your willingness to clean, to return to the divine for transmutation. Dr. Hew Len used to practice Ho'oponopono constantly, not just in moments of crisis or intense pain, but as a permanent state of being. He would say, I don't know what memory is being activated now, but whatever it is, I clean it. I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, I'm grateful. This constant practice created an energetic field around him that naturally transformed environments, relationships, situations simply through his purified presence. You can do the same thing. You can become a living purifier, someone who carries a frequency of constant cleaning wherever you go. When you enter a tense environment and silently practice Ho'oponopono, you're offering everyone present the opportunity to release the memories that are creating the conflict. When you're in a difficult relationship and practice Ho'oponopono internally, you're cleaning the ancestral memories of both family lineages, creating space for love to flow more freely. The practice becomes even more powerful when you understand that each person in your life is a mirror, reflecting memories that need to be cleaned. That person who intensely irritates you is activating memories in you that ask to be transmuted. That situation that constantly repeats is calling your attention to an ancestral pattern that wants to be released through you. Instead of blaming external circumstances, you take total responsibility for everything you experience, recognizing that you have the power to transform any situation through internal cleaning. There's a deep secret in Ho'oponopono that Dr. Hew Len took years to fully understand. Cleaning memories is not just about healing the past, it's about creating a completely new future. Each memory you clean releases energetic space for divine possibilities to manifest in your life. It's like cleaning a garden full of weeds so that exuberant flowers can grow in the space that was freed. When you practice Ho'oponopono with memories of scarcity, you're not just healing past experiences of deprivation. You're creating vibrational space for divine abundance to flow in your life in ways you can't even imagine. When you clean memories of loneliness, you're not just healing old emotional wounds, you're magnetizing relationships based on genuine love, soul connections that arrive when you're vibrationally prepared to receive them. The most beautiful thing in this process is discovering that you're never cleaning memories just for yourself. Dr. Hew Len taught that we are all interconnected at a very deep level, and when one person frees themselves from limiting patterns, they automatically offer that same liberation to other people who carry similar memories. You become an ancestral healer, not just for your own lineage, but for the entire human family. There's a powerful prayer that Morna Simeona, the master who initiated Dr. Hew Len into Ho'oponopono, used for deep cleanings. Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Child as one. If I, my family, my relatives and ancestors have offended you, your family, your relatives and ancestors in thoughts, words, acts and actions, from the beginning of our creation until now, we ask your forgiveness. May this clean, purify, release, cut all memories, blocks, negative energies and vibrations, and transmute these unwanted energies into pure light. And so it is done. This prayer recognizes that offenses, pain, limiting patterns are not individual. They are familial, ancestral, collective. And healing is also not individual. When you truly heal yourself, you heal your entire family, your complete lineages, and offer healing to all people who cross your energetic path. In this moment, I want you to stop and feel the depth of what we're sharing together. You're being invited to become an ancestral healer, a liberator of limiting patterns that may have existed in your family for generations. What sacred honor this is. If you feel the call for this healing mission, leave in the comments which area of your life you'd like to transform through Ho'oponopono, and if there's a specific pattern in your family that you feel ready to break, share it with us. Sometimes just the act of naming a pattern already initiates the liberation process. Your courage to heal inspires others to do the same. The journey of liberation through Ho'oponopono leads us to understand something revolutionary about forgiveness. We don't forgive because the other person deserves it, we forgive because we deserve peace. We don't clean memories because we understand why they exist. We clean because we choose to live in freedom instead of prison. Dr. Hew Len discovered that true forgiveness is not an emotional act. It's an act of energetic return, where you recognize that carrying resentment, hurt, anger is like drinking poison expecting someone else to die. When you practice, "I'm sorry, forgive me. I love you, I'm grateful," directed at someone who hurt you, you're not agreeing with the person's behavior. You're not being weak or allowing yourself to be disrespected. You're taking responsibility for the memory in you that attracted that experience, that vibrated at the frequency that made that encounter possible. You're choosing to free yourself from the energetic prison that keeps you connected to that person through pain. This is perhaps the most difficult and most liberating aspect of Ho'oponopono, recognizing that we are 100% responsible for everything we experience, not because we consciously caused each situation, but because our vibration, our active memories, our energetic field attracts experiences that resonate with what's happening inside us. When you accept this total responsibility, you gain total power to transform any situation through internal change. Dr. Hew Len used to say that there are no victims in the universe, only people who temporarily forgot their creative power. When you're being attacked by someone, there's a part of you that's vibrating at the same frequency as the attacker, perhaps a memory of guilt that believes it deserves punishment, a memory of power that needs to dominate or be dominated, a memory of survival that sees the world as dangerous. Healing happens when you clean these memories in you, not when you try to change the other person. The cleaning process through Ho'oponopono frequently brings up memories you didn't even know existed. You might be practicing to heal a difficult relationship and suddenly remember a childhood situation you hadn't thought about in years. You might be cleaning memories of scarcity and find images of your grandparents living in times of war or deprivation. This is not coincidence. It's divine wisdom showing you the energetic roots of the patterns you're transforming. Sometimes cleaning brings immediate relief, a sensation of lightness, of peace you hadn't felt in a long time. Other times it brings temporary intensification of symptoms, as if the memories were being stirred up before being released. Both experiences are normal and sacred. Trust the process, even when it doesn't seem linear or logical. Divinity knows exactly how to heal you in ways your conscious mind couldn't plan or understand. One of Dr. Hew Len's most transformative discoveries was understanding that Ho'oponopono is not just a healing technique. It's a way of living, a way of being in the world that transforms you into a constant channel of light and love. When you truly integrate this practice into your life, you stop reacting to situations from old memories and begin responding from your divine essence, creating completely new realities each moment. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process of awakening, where you slowly recognize more and more quickly when memories are being activated and more naturally return them to the divine for transmutation. With time, cleaning becomes as automatic as breathing. You don't even need to consciously think the words. They flow from you whenever something disturbs your natural peace. Imagine living in a state where nothing can truly destabilize you because you know that any disturbance is just a memory asking to be cleaned. Imagine relating to other people from a space of unconditional love because you're no longer projecting your unresolved memories onto them. Imagine creating and manifesting from a completely clean energetic field where only divine possibilities can materialize. Dr. Hew Len lived in this state of constant grace, and everyone who knew him reported that being in his presence was like being bathed by a frequency of peace that automatically calmed any internal turbulence. He didn't try to heal anyone consciously. His own constant purification created a field where healing happened naturally for everyone around. You can also develop this healing presence. Each time you practice Ho'oponopono, you're elevating not just your own vibration, but the vibration of everyone who enters your energetic field. Your family starts fighting less without understanding why. Your co-workers feel calmer when you're present. Strangers smile at you on the street for no apparent reason. You become a silent healer, transforming the world simply by existing in a state of purity. Advanced Ho'oponopono practice includes cleaning not just personal and ancestral memories, but also collective memories of humanity. When you watch the news and see violence, poverty, suffering in the world, instead of feeling powerless or revolted, you can practice Ho'oponopono directed at these situations, taking responsibility for the memories in you that resonate with these collective experiences and offering them for divine transmutation. This is perhaps the most powerful application of Ho'oponopono, recognizing that you can contribute to planetary healing through your own purification. Each memory of war that you clean in yourself helps dissolve the morphogenetic field of violence on the planet. Each memory of scarcity that you transmute contributes to creating a collective field of abundance. You become a light worker in the most literal sense, someone who transforms darkness into light wherever you go. The Ho'oponopono path eventually leads us to a deep understanding about the nature of reality. Everything we experience is a projection of our internal world. Difficult relationships, financial challenges, health problems, even world events that affect us. All of this are external reflections of internal memories that ask to be recognized and transmuted. Dr. Hew Len used to say that there are no external problems, only opportunities for internal cleaning. This perspective is simultaneously the most challenging and most liberating you can embrace. Challenging because it requires you to stop blaming external circumstances for your experience and take total responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Liberating because it means you have absolute power to transform any situation through changing your internal vibration. When you truly integrate this understanding, you stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and recognize yourself as the constant creator of your reality. Each person who appears in your life is reflecting aspects of yourself that need attention, healing, or celebration. Each challenging situation is inviting you to discover and clean memories that limit your experience of divine fullness. Ho'oponopono then becomes a tool of conscious creation. Instead of trying to control or manipulate external circumstances, you focus on cleaning the memories that create limiting vibrations and allow divinity to manifest through you possibilities that are beyond your conscious mind's capacity to imagine. You live in constant positive surprise, always discovering that life can be much more beautiful, abundant, and loving than you believed possible. Dr. Hew Len frequently shared that the ideal state of human beings is to live in what he called constant inspiration, a state where you don't act from conditioned memories, but receive divine guidance moment by moment about how to act, what to say, where to go, how to contribute to the greater good. This state is only possible when you're constantly cleaning the memories that block your direct connection with divine wisdom. Divine inspiration never asks you to do something that hurts you or others, never guides you from fear or scarcity, never makes you feel superior or inferior to any person. When you receive genuine inspiration, you feel an expansion in your heart, a natural joy, a sensation of alignment with something greater than you, but that is also profoundly you in your purest essence. Living inspired means trusting that divinity knows better than your conscious mind what's necessary for your maximum evolution and happiness. It means being willing to be surprised by paths you would never have chosen rationally, but that reveal themselves perfect for your growth. It means allowing your life to become a work of divine art, where you are simultaneously the brush and the canvas, the instrument and the music, the dancer and the dance. We reach the end of this journey of understanding, but actually we arrive at a new beginning, the start of a life lived in constant communion with your divine nature through the sacred practice of Ho'oponopono. What you received today were not just words or concepts. It was an invitation to become an instrument of planetary healing, a channel through which ancestral memories can be transmuted into pure light. Dr. Hew Len used to say that each person who genuinely practices Ho'oponopono becomes a gift to the world. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to have resolved all your problems, you don't need to intellectually understand how the process works. You just need to be willing to recognize when your peace is being disturbed and return that disturbance to the divine through the sacred words. I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, I'm grateful. In this sacred moment, while these words still echo in your heart, you have a precious opportunity to make a commitment to yourself and to your entire ancestral lineage. You can choose to be the healing link that breaks limiting patterns that may have existed in your family for generations. You can decide to be the healer your family tree was waiting for, the one who transforms ancestral pain into wisdom, ancestral limitation into freedom. Close your eyes with me now and feel all the memories you carry, yours and those of everyone who came before you. Feel their weight, but also feel the possibility of liberation that exists in this moment. Place your hand on your heart and breathe deeply, connecting with the divine essence that you truly are, that spark of light that was never touched by any suffering, any limitation, any fear. Now, with all the love from your heart, speak to all these memories. I'm sorry you've carried so much suffering for so long. Forgive me for not recognizing sooner that I had the power to release you. I love you, dear memories, because I recognize that you came from attempts at protection, at survival, at love in the way that was possible at the time. I'm grateful that I can now return you to the sacred void, to the divine space where everything can be renewed, transformed, healed. Feel this surrender happening at deep levels of your being. Feel space being created where there was once weight. Feel light entering where there was once shadow. Feel possibilities being born where there were once only limitations. You just became an ancestral healer, a liberator of patterns, a channel of divine grace. When you open your eyes, remember, you are no longer the same person who began listening to these words. You became someone who carries the frequency of freedom, someone whose simple presence offers healing to everyone who crosses your path. Your life now is a constant prayer, a continuous act of love, a sacred dance between your humanity and your divinity. May Ho'oponopono become your natural breathing, your automatic response to any disturbance of peace. May you live in a state of constant cleaning, creating an energetic field around you that naturally elevates everything that enters your orbit. And may you never forget, you are unconditionally loved, you are infinitely powerful, you are a sacred gift to this world. Ho'oponopono, may peace be with you, always in all ways for all eternity.